Well, it is now Tuesday, and boy oh boy, I needed that day of rest yesterday on Monday. The Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I looked at my phone, the tracking app. I was doing 15,000 steps a day. Now, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that are kind of going, yeah, but for me, that's quite a lot. And come Sunday evening, I was absolutely goosed. So I was tucked up in bed nice and early, got a good sleep, got up Monday, rested my legs, did some work, got some quality food, had another early night, and here we are Tuesday, refreshed and ready to go again. So, where are we off to? We are off to Windsor Park tonight. We're going to be watching Linfield, managed, of course, by David Healy, that we saw on Friday night away at Ballymena. And we're going to be watching them this time against Larne. And the other interesting thing about Larne is that they are not managed but kind of ran by a guy called Nathan Rooney. Now, about this time last year, I was in Gibraltar watching football over there. Fantastic and highly recommended, by the way. If nobody's done that yet, please do so. Um, and Nathan Rooney was one of the coaches that stood out to me as someone with a bit of quality and a bit of nous about him. And he was managing Bruno's Magpies, who kind of hit the headlines recently. They did quite well in Europe. I think they got quite a big game against FC Copenhagen at one stage. They did lose over two legs, but a massive success for Bruno's Magpies and a team from Gibraltar. And Nathan Rooney masterminded all that. He's now here as kind of director of football at Larne. I believe that is until he gets his UEFA Pro license. He's very much the man in charge, though, so I'm led to believe. So, yeah, we've got David Healy from Linfield, and we've got Nathan Rooney, who's not actually the manager, but kind of is, at Larne tonight. It should be an interesting clash. So, come on, let's go. Now, just before we do head out, obviously I've been here 4 days now. I'm going home tomorrow. Whilst I've been at the different games, I've been kind of chatting to the various different fans and stuff like that. It's interesting. There doesn't seem to be a lot of positivity for Linfield, let's put it that way. I spoke to some fans at Glentoran on Saturday, and well, they basically said that Linfield were a rugby team that just pumped it forwards all the time, clipped it into channels, pumped it forwards and tried to follow in on the second ball, which was ironically exactly how they played against Ballymena. And they said it's a shame, really, because everybody's got a lot of respect for David Healy here, but he's kind of damaging that by managing like a rugby coach, was one of the bits of feedback that I got. So I think the jury's out on Linfield, let's put it that way, but I am in the Linfield end, or with the Linfield fans today. It was the easiest way to get a ticket. And I think what's interesting, or what's going to be interesting, is what the atmosphere is going to be like at Windsor Park, because all these games I've been to, I would say there's not been any more than 2,000 at any of these games. And my social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, has been absolutely battered with adverts from Linfield, come and get behind us, kids for a quid, all that type of stuff. So, bearing in mind they play at Windsor Park, it's going to be a strange atmosphere there if there's only a few thousand. And Larne, I don't think, are going to bring loads. So I wonder what it's going to be like. Maybe they'll only open 2 stands or 3 stands, or a couple of tiers or something like that. But it's going to be interesting. Anyway, we'll have a look, see how it plays out. Nope, not today. We are going the other way. That's right. In front of us here, we've got the Queen's University of Belfast. And I understand from the tour bus yesterday that I was on that Liam Neeson once studied here. Maybe that's where he acquired those specialist set of skills. So I'm actually just walking down what I believe is called the Royal Mile here in Belfast. And apparently that's the nightlife district, with all the pubs, restaurants, clubs, etc. Really useful to find that out when you're going home tomorrow, eh? And I've already done my nights out. Oh well, maybe next time. Let's go, come on. It also said on the tour bus, which I thought was interesting and obvious when you think about it, that the buildings built predominantly out of brick are obviously pre-Good Friday Agreement, and the ones that have been built predominantly out of glass are post-Good Friday Agreement. I'm sure you don't need me to explain to you why that is. But I thought that was interesting, albeit pretty obvious. We have arrived. We're walking up Windsor Avenue. At the end of it, we will get to Windsor Park, the home of the Northern Irish football team and Linfield FC, where tonight we'll be watching them take on Larne. Let's keep going, and it is freezing here. Welcome to Windsor. Let's keep going. I don't know about you guys out there, but when you're arriving at the football for a midweek, a night match, and you can just see the floodlights over the top of the houses in the stadium, yeah, it gets exciting then, doesn't it? I love to see it. Well, there it is in all its glory. Windsor Park is upon us. Let's get a little bit closer. Have a closer look around. Looks smart though. It is going to be interesting on how this atmosphere plays out tonight. This is a big old stadium. It's the national team stadium, no less. And I've not been at a game where there's more than a few thousand there yet. So this is going to be interesting. Let's keep going. Maybe grab another Guinness pre-kick-off. I've given up on Google Maps now, but I can see the stadium, and surely I'm not going to go that far wrong, am I? Looks like it's up here over this railway bridge, and away we go. You can actually see in the window of the Linfield club shop there, their badge, and on that is a castle, and that is Windsor Castle. Now that is a bit of a doff of the cap to where they play, which is obviously Windsor Park, so it felt appropriate to have Windsor Castle on the badge. Again, makes sense, I suppose. That's it, we are here. Welcome to Windsor Park, home of Linfield Football Club, where tonight they will take on Larne. Let's get inside, let's have a bit of a better look around. Interesting bits outside the ground here about historical Northern Ireland games. Time here when they beat Yugoslavia in 1975. Brian Hamilton with the winner. And he later went on to manage Northern Ireland, I seem to remember. Now this one was a cracker. Obviously beating Israel at home there. But note the goal scorer, Jerry Armstrong. What a legend of Northern Irish football. And was it Spain 82? Where he scored his famous goals? I think he earned himself a move to Spain off the back of that. I remember him again, if you're of a certain vintage. Probably need to stop saying that. I remember him as part of the Spanish La Liga coverage when it was on Sky. Very, very good. Here's a good one here. Probably quite pertinent for tonight. David Healy scoring his hat-trick against Spain. And then look at that. Northern Ireland 1, England 0. Healy again. Remember that was when Sven was manager. England were terrible that night. Look at the Spain lad in the background there as well. Healy cracks that goal in. Brilliant picture. Well, let's hope he's smiling tonight, old David Healy, and they play a little bit better than they did the other night. So what's the final one here? I don't remember this, I must admit. Northern Ireland 3, Greece 1. Ah, okay. So this is after they qualified for the Euros. Stephen Davis with 2. He must still be playing somewhere, surely. Yeah, very good result. Some Linfield stuff here, let's move on to that. Interesting bit of info about Linfield here I was just reading. Particularly the amount of grounds that they've played at. So Windsor Park. I mean, they've been at Windsor Park since 1905, so you can't really argue with that. But that's what, 4 grounds that they've played at since they were established in 1886. What have we got here? The Setanta clean sweep. Remember Setanta? Bloody hell. Who have we got here? Glenn Ferguson. He's a bit of a legend around these parts in Linfield. Yeah. And who have we got here? Legendary captains. Bloody hellfire. Noel Bailey. 1,013 games. Good God, I think that's the most I've ever heard of anybody playing for a club. See if we can just get that in the light a bit better there. 1,013 games. Wow. Jamie Mulgrew underneath with a mere 639 games. God, Jamie, what were you doing? Bloody hell, that's impressive, that. Noel Bailey. I'm going to look him up when I get back online. 1,013 games, wow. A few technical issues, but we are in. Let's get ourselves up to the concourse, see if we can find a refreshment. Okay, teams are starting to filter out now. Here's the Linfield team. I must admit, even from Friday night, there's not a lot of names that stand out there for me. It wasn't a very, I guess, recognisable game. Nobody really made an impression on me on Friday night. Let's see how we get on tonight. I'll have to have a look for the Larne team. Larne team is out as well. Again, I had a look at the squad. There's no names I recognise there. I'm not going to claim to know any of these guys. Larne got beat at the weekend, and that was a bit of a surprise. I was expecting them to give Linfield a run tonight, and it'd be a close game. But I'm not so sure now. Yeah, let's see what happens. Time, £6.40 at Windsor Park. Hey, it's kind of the end of the trip, isn't it? Just the 6 o'clock wake up for a, I think, 9:30 flight tomorrow morning. We'll be alright though, won't we? Not the best, but not the worst actually. At least it's nice and cold. Cheers everybody.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Windsor Park, your home of Linfield Football Club, for this evening's Sports Direct Premiership clash between Linfield and Larne. The team uses as follows: starting with Linfield in goals, 51, Timo Walsh, 2, Sam Roscoe, 3, Ewan.
Oh, good save.
At a time, that's 2 minutes at a time.
He's off. Straight readied him. That's not him that was sent off. This is the guy that was sent off, man. As you can probably tell. I don't know. He did lunge a little bit. 10. Get yourself in the bath, son. I don't know who's booing what there. Well, it's half time here at Windsor Park. Linfield 0, Larne 0. And it's another one of those games. Not a lot has happened. Linfield haven't been great again. It's been a very close game. Both teams got into the box well. Some nice crosses, some nice movement. I can't remember either keeper really making a save. Larne down to 10 men, as Gary Neville would say, ooh, it's rash. It was a heavy touch and he lunged on to try and kind of make it back. Did he get the ball? It's one of those old school ones. If you watch football in the 90s, you probably would have gone, oh, come on, he got that. You can't get away with that nowadays. Not at this level, or at any level. Yeah, look, it was a red card. There's going to be a big ask on for Larne, I think, in the second half. I said it on Friday, I think I'll say it again. I expect Linfield to push on in the second half, be a bit better, probably secure the win. Right, let's get back to the second half, see what that's got to bring. Like I said, big task ahead for Larne.
Look at the ball.
Linfield have got an extra man and they've got nobody up front for that set piece. As that lad behind me just spotted. That was so bizarre. They did well there. This guy, Mulgrew, has been Linfield's best player over the 2 games I've seen.
Oh, you see him forward, tactical forward there.
Linfield are now time wasting. Well, just got out the ground. Game over. Linfield 1, Larne 0. I don't think you can really argue with the result. Second half, Larne didn't even try to get close or compete. Pinned everybody behind the ball, just trying to hang on. The goal was a bit scruffy. Larne arguing for a foul, and the Linfield guy just drove it through the keeper's legs. Would say Linfield managed the game well towards the end, taking it in the corner, time wasting. Another thing I would just add actually was I think in both games that I've seen Linfield play, both tonight and on Friday against Ballymena, they brought on a sub. I'll have to have a look at him in more detail, but maybe he's a veteran player or something called Jamie Mulgrew. I thought he was excellent. Now he's a chunky lad. Maybe he can only do 20 minutes here and there, but he looked like Linfield's best player in 2 games. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Got to walk back to the main strip now, get a couple of pints of Guinness, and then get myself back to the hotel, and it's back home. Really enjoyed Northern Ireland, but please, can you be a bit warmer? Goodness me. Right, until the next one.